All right, Eric. I thought it was Erica, and I read no. It's Eric asked, would God make someone gifted in something, meaning in heaven, that didn't exist on the earth during their time? For example, there was no photography during Adam and Eve's time, but could Eve have found out that she was gifted in photography once she got to heaven? Do these type of gifts exist, whether it's their primary gift or an additional one? So they're like, yeah, okay. So that's the question.
I think that anyone who goes to heaven can be trained. You can get trained that way. Like there's I'm trying to think of the name. It's hard to use earthly terms right now when I'm talking about heaven so much. But there's people who've always wanted to be a musician. They've always
Yeah,
wanted to sing. They've always wanted to have a band. You can do those things and you can learn those from masters for people who have that gift. I don't know that he would say, I'm gifting you with this that you never had before, but you certainly can learn things like you can learn to fly in heaven. You're trained by people that is a gift to teach you that. So
yeah.
you have your own gift. God sent you to heaven with a gift that you can share with everybody, but you certainly can learn to paint amazingly. You can learn how to ride Broncos or Bulls that are going to be talking to you the whole time you're trying to um, win that contest.
Well, it
But
sounds,
anyway,
Kat, it sounds like the way you're describing it is you're wanting to avoid using the gift because you're saying the gift you have is a gift you get to heaven with, but it's close to that because, like I've said, always wanted to play the piano by ear. That's not a gift I have, but I want that. If I am trained in heaven and I
you can
suddenly
be
can
trained.
learn that,
You
it's
can
like a
be
gift to me.
fantastic. You can
Yeah,
be so fantastic when
yeah,
you're, especially if you're taught by people who are masters and you don't get charged anything. So anyone who's always wanted to bake the best something and you know people that can, that is their gift. But you will be using the gift he did give you. But that doesn't mean you can't be trained or taught to do great things and become great at those things.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so, yeah, you can learn. You can learn almost any of those types of things in
Yeah,
heaven.
I think Kim Robinson was on the other day, and she told a story. I think my memory serves me, that a grandchild went to heaven, and their grandfather. It's if it's not this, it's very close to this. Was playing the piano. He had always wanted to play the piano, but the child visited and said Grandpa was playing the piano. So if it's not a gift, it'll do till a gift comes along because I would consider it a gift that God would have make me learn teachable on that thing, if that makes any sense. So
Yeah, I think you can become really great at it.
yeah,
I think just like on the earth, people who have a gift, you know that's a gift, and you can
yeah,
try and be good on the earth, and you get better at things in heaven. But it says he will not remove the gift he gave us.
yeah,
Every good and perfect gift comes down
yeah.
from the Father of lights. The reason it says Father is we were little beings of light. That's who we were. That's why it says the Father of lights. It's not talking about the moon and stars. It's talking about us when we all lived in God. We were little spiritual beings. But he wrote and put something in each of us that when we come home to heaven, we can be great. Like even with no training, you're great because you're gifted. But
Yeah,
when you are taught by someone who's good, that means you will become good
yeah, really
and
good. Now,
go
Kat,
in places.
let's talk about gifts for a minute. You've said a number of times on this program that your loved ones in heaven, when your earthly birthday comes along, they'll go put a gift in your mansion that's being prepared for you. If I'm remembering that right, we've never just. I don't ever remember you describing what these gifts are because I'm thinking my mansion's going to be overflowing with trinkets and souvenirs. I don't know what's in these gifts. And does God put gifts in there? Or is it only your loved ones, or what are in these
Your
gifts?
loved ones go and get gifts made by these people who are masters, who are highly gifted, beautiful
Okay.
things. Like if they went and got you art, the art would come alive on you.
Oh
And
wow.
I have to use Whitney Houston, no matter how many people still arguing. Let it go, people.
Let it
She
go.
made it to heaven. She's in heaven.
Praise God for
And I was
Whitney. Yeah.
caught up from the front row getting ready to speak. I was caught up to heaven and I saw her receiving gifts from the Father, rewards and gifts, because she used the gift he sent her for, and that was singing. And she did that really well. And so he gave her a supernatural gift, and I've seen other people get them too. He gave her a garment of praise, and it was something supernatural. You can't make that in heaven. It's something you can't make. It's a gift from him, and it was a song, one of his own songs he sang and created. He put it in a garment, and that garment came out of this little chest he was giving her, and it started to go weave around her until it was this beautiful garnet gown, like a beautiful red gown. And when she would move any part of her, the gown sang the Father's
Gee,
song.
that's amazing.
So there are many supernatural things like that he gives you, Steve. He gives you these amazing gifts that your head couldn't even conceive,
Yeah.
things that you wouldn't expect to be alive, that is alive, that he gave you, that would operate in your mansion. People could come and see that beautiful, amazing thing. The walls sing, flowers grow over your wall and sing. But there's other things like, I think your ability to have such an amazing connection with the creatures in heaven, and the creatures will come and hear you speak sometimes. And like, I guess they would say, is that Francis of Assisi, they said?
Yeah, the animals love it. Was an
The
animal.
animals loved him. That would
Yeah,
be like, that would be a kind of a gift he would give you, something like that.
very
And the
cool.
creatures would all want to visit you on your property, and you would love it. But there's things like the stuff you wear, the things you have. He can give you a gift of something that's so amazingly, the display, you open the display, it is created. Like whole light shows come out of things. That's
Mm.
given to you. And you can go share that with everybody in heaven, will want to see it and hear the things that it's saying and stuff like that. So besides the regular things you love that he gives you, there are supernatural things that will mess up as well your mind, your body,
Yeah,
left behind, and your spirit man goes to
I love
heaven.
it. I totally love it. Hey, Julie Smith, who she was our producer here. She was last year sometime, I think. We were talking about my own father, who is now with the Lord. No matter it was a tough upbringing, but he's with the Lord now. But she just overheard him. She says, "I just overheard your father saying to the Father regarding me, give him more, Lord, give him more." And she didn't say more of what. So I don't know
Yeah.
what the more was, but do our loved ones that went before us, do they go to the Father and
Yes,
request things on
they
our
do.
behalf that the Father says, okay, I'll do that?
Yes, absolutely. That does happen. I've been up there and heard people asking Jesus or the Father. I know they would love to have this thing. They've always wanted to see, would you please give it to them? And
Oh,
sometimes they'll just say, could you give them a new home? I want something so amazing and beautiful. I could have maybe gotten it for them at one time, but wasn't able to. Would you please bless them with that? And
wow.
then the Father would do it. It may not be instantly, but then he would do it. So yes, people do ask for things for the family members. They do.
Is it kind of like, let me just see what this says. Wanted you to and be blessed in every way possible, including. Oh, okay. Julie said he wanted you to prosper and be blessed in every way possible, including what he missed out on. Oh, very, very cool. Thank you, Julie, for that. So,
Well, I will
uh,
confirm that he's going to give that to you
yeah.
anyway.
Well, I was about to say, ask you, with everyone on earth and in heaven that would go to the Father while they're in heaven and ask for this gift. I mean, it doesn't seem like the Father would ever say, "Nah, I don't think I'll do that." Right?
I think the goodness of the person's heart wanting to bless you, God
Yeah.
always wants to bless. He's never here to take away. You go through a season in your life, of course, where you're trained or you get trained from the things that you go through. I'm not saying the wicked things. I'm saying there's things that you face yourself to make decisions about. But there comes a time when you're stepping into acceleration. It's like stepping into a dream, Steve. The things become so unreal. They're given to
Hmm.
you one after another. And we are entering into that season. And he has already told me how important you were on this earth to him. You were so important. You didn't give up. You didn't stop no matter what you went through. And he didn't mean for those things to happen to you. But you made
Yeah.
a decision in your life. You're not going to stop doing things for God. And you've been very faithful to him. You absolutely will not miss getting those extreme blessings, extreme wealth, extreme properties, extreme favor without measure. And the
Wow.
things you'll step into that will be even much more powerful. What you're making a powerful available now for the prophets, the true prophets to speak for God in these days is so critical for God, not critical like dangerous, but critical of his plan,
Mm.
for his plan to take place. He looks at you that way. He looks at you like he did Elijah. He looks at you like he did at Abraham.
Mm.
He looks at
Wow.
you like he did at David with that love that you are so overwhelming, Father, with your love for the things of God to be seen and heard and truth known. He's going to prosper you in your life in
It's
every way.
amazing. Yeah. And you know what's so amazing? This is hitting me emotionally, but what's more amazing than all the things he's going to bless me with is that he thinks, and this is for all of us, that he thinks of us that personally, that intentionally,
Yes.
that remembering of what we did. I mean,
Yes,
that's what
yes.
undoes me, not the amazing home I might own someday or something. I mean,
Right.
that will, don't get me wrong, you can bring that on, Lord, but what's most amazing is that he cares enough to do that, right?
Yeah, it is. I'm overwhelmed all the time by his goodness and by his love for me.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have anything or do anything, I would love him. I would love him that much. And I used to tell people, in truth, that I lost everybody I had, and I was standing on the street corner with nothing. I would have everything that my soul could ever desire, and that would be to know the Father, to know His Son, and to know Holy Spirit. And when you love like that, there's no way you can ever escape being great for God, not because you asked for it, but because He is giving you that as a reward for the way you live your life.
Man, oh man, really good stuff.